Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Okay, we're back, and what a delight to have back in the studio with us today Treva Kuyper. She's one of the co-leaders of the ministry called the Loft. And I can't say enough about what they're doing for young girls between 8th grade and 12th grade, right?
Yes.
And this starts goes through the school year, but you can join anywhere along the line. And this coming Sunday is Plugged In.
Yes.
How do you unplug a teenager?
I know.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
How was the last one? We had a great time talking about it. How was the attendance?
It was great. We averaged about 50 girls that came last time. We talked about anxiety and depression, which is a really big topic. And I had shared last time that I had been suffering with panic attacks for a few months, and those are gone. I have not had a panic attack since the night before the last Loft. So I think the Lord just used my life and what I had gone through to share my testimony with the girls, and it was really helpful.
Wow, wow. All right, Plugged In. I think, first of all, these kids today are born into this digital age.
Yes.
I think we're not, I read the other day, we have now 2, maybe 3 generations of people born with a mouse in their hand, you know. I mean, they just get technology much quicker than us old folks do, but it's now part of their DNA.
Absolutely.
And it is gobbling up their attention, while at the same time cutting their attention span down to nothing.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they don't know any different. So when we, as their parents and their mentors, when we want them to disconnect from their phone or their laptop, their iPad, they kind of look at us like we're crazy, right?
Yeah, right.
Because we remember what it was before the internet. We remember what it was before cell phones, but they don't.
Yeah.
And if they would learn to set down their phone, their iPad, their laptop, even for half of a day, even for a whole day, that's one of the challenges I'm going to give them on Sunday, they're going to find out that they have freedom to do so many other things. But they need to try it out. And it's hard. I think it's scary for them because it's something that, like you said, they're born with a mouse in their hand. I actually think they're more, maybe born with a phone in their hand.
Yeah, right.
But
these have become computers now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our phones are our computers, and you can get online anywhere. And even as adults, we need to be that example. In studying for this topic on Sunday, I myself have been convicted of how much I've connected, and when my phone is with me all the time or I'm on the laptop all the time, just stepping aside and walking in freedom, having some real conversation face to face.
This is amazing. There's a couple of points. First of all, the psychological damage. And the risk of being there and the pressure to be there and some of the information that's being exchanged among teenage girls is not healthy, is it? And bullying can happen there.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. We all are in this age of sharing our whole life online. And I'm a relational person. I love relationships, but we need to have a balance. And we need to have a balance of sharing online, but sharing in real life, having real life relationships, conversation, communication. And these teens, they want that. They want that. They just don't know any different in their life, so we need to teach them that. And that's what we're going to do on Sunday.
What are the dangers of all this connection?
Well, I think that, for one, the multitasking that goes on one hand, that can be a blessing, but when you're constantly online, moving from screen to screen to screen, or online, on your laptop, on the phone, on the iPad, all at the same time, the attention span in our young people, it goes down, it plummets. So, again, I think it all goes back to balance.
The other thing, Treva, is here we are so well connected with all these devices. But one of the #1 emotions in America is loneliness.
So true. So true.
Is it true among teenage girls?
Yes, it is true. Yes. Where it's like you can be in a crowd of people, you can be in a room full of people, but you still feel lonely. All of the connection, I think the lack of the physical relationships is what causes them to feel lonely. So they're putting themselves out there online all the time, constantly. They're getting likes on their page, they're getting likes on their pictures and things like that. That becomes their world, and that becomes their worth. And that's where the lie is. Their worth and their value doesn't have to do with who they are online.
teenagers, so much going on. You got the physical changes going on. You got all the emotional changes going on. Somehow we think now we can trust them with a car.
Right. Right?
You know, you got all that going on. Then you put them behind the wheel of a car, and then you put in your hand all these devices. What's going on here?
Oh, the texting and driving. They say that texting and driving is actually more dangerous than someone who drives under the influence of alcohol or marijuana, which just absolutely floors me. Someone who has their phone in their hand is 4 times more likely to get in a car crash than someone that sets their phone down. That really hit me hard. Like, not even to have your phone in your hand, whether you're trying to find music on your phone or you're just holding it, having it on speaker, or whatever the deal is, you know, putting it away. There's different apps that parents can go check out that can actually, they can be in control of their teenager's phone to put it in airplane mode so they're not hearing the text messages, those kinds of things, so that there's a little bit more control.
Now, are these young girls trying to create an image for them online that maybe not true? In other words, it's image control, but it could be false image control.
Yes.
Because one thing you're discovering at the Loft is who they hang out with and what they're trying to be is not what's really on the inside.
Absolutely. I think what social media has done is given us a way to portray who we want to be. And it's not the reality oftentimes. And so there's this whole idea that, one, maybe they're too transparent online. They forget that everybody's looking. And then the other side of it is they're not actually, it's a persona. They're not actually sharing their heart. They're just sharing the highlights of their life. And then you go into girls being jealous of other girls. They see their life online. They see their life on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and think, well, my life doesn't look like that. Yeah. But they're just actual highlights. They're not the reality of people's lives.
Before we get into your next project, if a parent is not allowing their child to have one of these devices, what kind of peer pressure does that put on them? What's it do to them?
Well,
because every kid's got one.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I would do today as a parent. I don't know how I'd manage this because it's too tempting to go in the wrong place with these devices. You can put all the screens you want there, but eventually you can get to what you want to do.
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, and the bottom line is the teenagers know more than their parents do about technology.
Right.
You know, I would encourage the parents
Wait
to...
till something breaks. Ask your kid to fix it.
I have a teenage daughter, and oftentimes anything in our house, we call her the technology whiz. We just hand her the phone, we hand her the laptop, here, fix this. You know, inevitably they know more than we do. So when we put privacy settings or we put controls on things, you know, they can figure out a way, or they have a friend that can figure out a way around that. So I think the issue really is for parents to study up on technology in their teens, to have conversation with their teenagers, and to really communicate what their desires are for their teens and why, instead of just don't do that. The whys. Our daughter she's 16, and we just let her have a Facebook in the last month. She doesn't have an iPhone. She has the old kind of phone. It's not that I think it's wrong that teenagers have these things, and she will eventually have these things, but it's us as parents teaching them responsibility, teaching them integrity, teaching them through our own example how to maneuver through the technology age without like losing your soul, you know, in the process. A little bit of privacy and remembering the transparency thing. That's really huge, because I think our young people don't quite grasp that what they put online can affect their jobs in the future, you know.
Big time. Be careful. Be careful, and I think that's one of the messages you're trying to convey. All right, this weekend, or this Sunday at the Loft, what time?
5:30.
And look, you can just come for this session. So if you have a teenage girl or a girl between 8th grade and 12th grade, and they want to gather up some friends, and you're kind of concerned about the two plugged in, what a great way Tell them take their vices and go over there.
Yes.
5:30 Sunday evening. That'll be at the Community Bible Church in Central Point.
Absolutely, and we're gonna have a great time. We feed them dinner, we do games and prizes. So we're not bringing them there to lecture them, to tell them all the same things that they've heard.
You guys really minister.
We just love them.
They have a great time and tremendous response. What do you got going here?
Well, what we have on April 24th, we're really excited about. It's our first event fashion show called Runway to Hope. And what we're doing is we're putting on a fashion show to bring awareness to sex trafficking.
Wow.
And we wanted to have an event that would be fun and lighthearted, things that our teenagers love, which is fashion, but then also open it up to the whole community. So the whole Rogue Valley is invited. It's a free event, and Rebecca Bender from Rebecca Bender Ministries is coming to speak. She's our guest speaker, and she's a survivor of sex trafficking, and she's going to share her story. You and I spoke in February on our topic on sex and relationships. Right. Online safety, this has to do with the sex trafficking. So several times throughout the year, our topics have brought up the issue of sex trafficking and how it is a huge issue even in our valley that people don't think about.
It's big. It's big.
It is big.
Yeah.
And so it was really our heart to put together a fun event where we could invite everybody, the whole community, and have Rebecca come and share her story and bring that awareness.
Runway to Hope, and it'll be April 24th. We'll talk more about it down the road here. And where's it going to be?
It's going to be at Community Bible Church in the gymnasium. It's at 7 p.m.
Okay.
We do say that people 13 and up are invited because of the nature of the topic, little children.
Right.
We would love for them to stay home.
Yeah.
But everyone else, absolutely, to come and to just have our eyes open to what's going on in our valley.
Mark that down on your calendar, April 24th, and again, that'll be Runway to Hope. That's going to be at Community Bible Church. But this Sunday, 5:30 at Community Bible Church in Central Point. If you have a young girl somewhere between 8th grade and 12th grade, gather her up and her friends and take them over to the Loft. They'll be loved on, they'll be fed, they'll have a lot of fun, and then they'll be dealing with a subject I think that they're all plugged in. So how do we get them unplugged for a while? Thanks, Treva.
Thank you.
You're wonderful. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.